Hello, guys. Thank you for choosing the Creation Theory podcast. I'm glad you're tuning in with us for season 2.
Yeah.
It's going to be spectacular. As always, I'm your host, Logan Candy, and joining me today is Wyatt Wewell.
Let's go Cards.
The Hispanic Hercules himself, Josh Meadows.
Let's go Team Instinct, the official team of the Creation Theory podcast.
Bam. And Zach Griggs.
I didn't think of anything to say. Hello.
He never does, never will.
Nope. That's my motto.
Real quick, we just wanted to address the fact that Ben will not be with us. He is gone.
Yeah.
He is.
We're sad to see him not come back this semester, but this is for you, Ben. We're still doing this.
Yep.
And Bryce. We love you, Bryce.
Our number one fan.
Bryce, you're spectacular, man.
Yeah.
And Ben, we all wish you the best.
Mm-hmm.
Agreed.
And you'll never see a penny. But
None
we
of us
thank
have
you.
seen
None of us have seen pennies yet.
We thank you for your continued commitment.
Yeah.
We do.
All right, well, this week, guys, we're just going to keep it simple. It's been a while. We're a little rusty. We're trying to get back into the groove of things. So real quick, we're just going to...
Time out. I'm always in the groove.
Oh, okay.
Drop the
Continuing.
mic. Drop that mic.
Do not drop the mic. But real quick, right now, we're going to just do a real quick summer recap of everything. Starting with me, I worked at a terrible fast food job all summer. It was complete garbage. I hated it. It was just so awful. I played some video games.
What games?
Beat a
That's
few video games.
We'll talk about that on Trophy Pop.
Yeah, well, real quick, do
it's
a
summer
shameless plug.
You have a minute.
We have a
1 minute go.
We have a podcast called Trophy Pop. It is up on SoundCloud, iTunes as well.
It is a part of our channel, so it is on all
Yeah,
of our
yes, it
Creation
is.
Theory things. It is gaming, everything gaming. We do news, we do new releases, we talk about games and what we think about them. No Man's Sky is one of our discussions coming up. There's also an E3 episode. Check it out on SoundCloud. It may not be on the iTunes because we had to repost it from my personal account. Check that out. We're going to recap that anyway, though. Yeah.
It'll be up on YouTube at some point. It's not currently. A few of the episodes aren't up there yet, but we're working on that.
Yeah, we only have 2 episodes so far, plus the E3 bonus episode that Josh and I did.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Trophy Pop, the name comes from when you earn a trophy on PlayStation and the little thing pops in the upper left-hand corner.
Dinger.
Thank you for explaining that
A
because
little dinger.
I don't game and I don't know what that means.
Yeah, when you get a trophy, it goes, ba-doop, and it goes, you cooked
And
8
1
pots
minute.
of potatoes.
Why 8 pots of potatoes specifically?
Overcooked, that's why.
Okay.
It's fun.
Well, that's what I did with my summer. I gamed a little. I worked. I helped out with my church. I helped out with a camp that I help out with every year.
How was that?
It was fun. That place is real dear to my heart. I went there as a kid, so I'm happy to help out every year. Love everyone who does it, and it's just an awesome thing.
Cool.
Very nice.
All right, what about yourself, Wyatt Wewell?
I worked in a movie theater, actually, in small town Indiana. And, yeah, that was a good time. We'll talk about that, though. We'll get to that. Also went on a 4-game baseball tour in Detroit, Cleveland, Pittsburgh, and Cincinnati. I knew there was a third one in there somewhere. That was a good time. And went to New Hampshire, Maine, New York, Baseball Hall of Fame, all of it.
You went everywhere.
Very nice.
Yeah, well, all in one trip. 55 and a half hours in the car in 8 days.
Sounds
And that was not the
nice.
baseball trip. That was this New Hampshire trip.
So much baseball.
It was a lot of baseball. It was a lot of fun.
You might even
Wow.
say that baseball is a proud sponsor of the Creation Theory podcast.
You might, but you
you
wouldn't.
might be wrong.
But it is.
But
It's
it's all baseballs. All the
Baseball in
baseballs.
general.
All everywhere.
Zachary, how was your summer?
It was great. Let's see. I got engaged this summer. So that was exciting. Thank you. Thank
Who's that?
you. What else did I do? I worked in a thrift store, which is as fun as it sounds, actually. You move lots of heavy things, and you see a lot of drunk people who are very often naked.
And you see some
More
that are
often
drunk
than not,
and naked.
yes.
Both.
Yeah.
Both, quite often. We had a flasher in front of the store, just
Woo!
opening his
Ding
coat,
ding.
showing what he had to the world. What else do we have? We had someone come in who was like on something really strong, some bad drugs.
I had
Just going
plenty
crazy.
of people that came into my place of work all
I
the time.
bet. So yeah, didn't really do much fun this summer, but yeah, it was a good summer.
That's good.
It was a
Joshua,
good time.
I worked a lot. My dad owns a roofing company. Measured roofs. It's not fun work necessarily, but at some point in the summer, I visited this goob, Wyatt,
he did.
to watch E3, and we did a short little E3 podcast. So that was pretty fun. Took a few vacations, went to Gulf Shores, visited my girlfriend Abigail in Missouri. She came up and visited a few times. And speaking of one of her visits, we went to Pizza Hut one of those times. And I know I've been talking about a Pizza Hut story that I've been saving for you guys on podcast.
we are ready.
Now, actually, we tried to record this Pizza Hut story earlier, and we've been waiting for this all summer.
Yeah.
Yes.
And we never got it because we realized we weren't recording, so now we had to start over.
So it's still saved.
Exactly.
I was
It is.
about to leave my
Like,
lips.
This is
Josh,
fresh.
how would you have felt had you
Spoiled.
saved it for the podcast and then you had to re-record it?
All of our reactions would have been fake. and
Is
would
it
have been
still
terrible.
recording? That's the question.
Yes, we are still good to go.
We are good.
Please enunciate for the microphone and deliver the story at will.
So, my friends and I, back at my home church, make a habit of going out to eat after church on Sundays. And so we did this, and Abigail was visiting. And we decided to go to Pizza Hut. We went to a Pizza Hut in Logansport, Indiana. I want to make that clear.
Logan.
Logan's Port, Indiana. You have a
That
port,
does not
Sir
sound like
Logan.
a good place to be.
East Side.
East Side?
Yeah.
Dang, dude, you all were on the streets, huh?
So
You don't know Logan's Port, Indiana, Logan. Just like to remind our viewers of that.
So we're at Pizza Hut. It's buffet because it's Sunday, and we all got our plates of pizza. I got my cinnamon sticks, which was my most anticipated item. And my friend bites into his pizza, chews a little bit, pulls it out, and goes, "What the?" Pulls an object out of his mouth.
No. No.
Oh, what was it?
No. No.
He goes, "Is that a tooth?"
What?
Holds it up. We all look at it. It's a tooth.
No
Yeah.
way.
My friend Travis was like, "Is that your tooth?" And Patrick's like, "No."
That is disgusting.
Oh my
That is
gosh.
the grossest actual thing I've heard.
Yes.
It's not even the worst part of the story.
No.
Really?
Well, first of all, he was describing. He said when he bit into it, it was like the hardest thing he's ever bitten, and it didn't break because it's a tooth.
Yeah, teeth are hard, dude.
So he bit down on that thing hard. So he's freaking out. He goes, talks to a manager. He holds it up to the first person he sees back up at the front of the store, and they're like, "Is that a tooth?" He's like, "Yeah, it's a tooth." And they go back and start showing it to people, and they're like, "We're gonna talk to our head manager or whatever about this." So they go back. Manager comes back and he's like, "We'll give you guys 50% off the buffet today."
No, that should be free.
Oh, yeah.
50. So
Free.
Patrick comes back to the table. He's steaming. I finished my cinnamon sticks because I figured no way there's a tooth in this.
Those are good. They came straight from corporate.
But we're sitting at our table, like talking about how ridiculous this situation is. And waitress had been coming by a few times, asking us how we're doing. We were like, awesome, because it's a great buffet and everything. But the next time she came by, she asked us how we were doing, and we were like, no, not good.
Not at all. We are not doing.
And we told her, we were like, they told us 50% off for this buffet, but we're not gonna pay anything. And she was like, she got real scared. She was like, okay, I'll go talk to someone or whatever. So she went back, never came back to our table. So we got up to leave, and the head manager was already at the counter waiting for us, because he knew we were going to come up and make a scene or whatever. So we get up there, and Patrick quietly says, we're not going to pay for any of this. We're not paying 50%. We're just leaving, basically. And I kid you not, the manager says this verbatim. It was just the one piece, right?
What?
Just the one
What?
piece with a tooth on it. Patrick goes, it was a human body part. And the manager's like, he gets all crappy with us. He had the audacity to act mad. He's like, you guys have a good day, or whatever. We just walked out. But that was
I wouldn't
the
go
awful
back
Pizza
to
Hut
that
story.
Pizza Hut.
Oh, no.
I would not have given the manager the tooth. I would have held on to it. So
I
that
would
they
have
can't say,
sent
no, that
it
didn't happen.
to the media.
Yeah, call the news, have them get down there. I found a tooth in my
Wait a
window.
minute. We is the media.
We is the media.
Are
Yes,
we
media.
though?
Yeah,
Are we,
I just
though?
had a class. What is media? We is
There you
media.
go. We as media.
We as media.
Logansport, Illinois. Is that what it is?
Indiana.
Indiana. Logansport, Indiana.
Blame
You
this
are
on us.
awful. Sorry.
I feel like
It's ain't our fault.
our podcast is similar to the tree that falls in the woods and no one's around to hear it. If our podcast is on air but no one's around to hear it, is it still media?
Yes.
Media, but it might not be on the air.
Yeah, that's true.
Anyway,
It's
I
just
don't know.
yeah.
on the microphones.
On the
An actual tooth.
We could have.
human body part.
Patrick easily could have gotten a lawsuit out of that, but
Oh, he could have easily owned that company
he's a
probably in
graceful
a
person.
few months.
All four of us were pretty graceful, but that was just too much when the manager of that store.
It was only
one
the one.
piece, right?
Only the one piece, right? That's quote unquote what he said.
That is the grossest thing.
That was the part that made me the most mad, is when he said that. So yeah, if you're in or around Logansport, Indiana, don't go to that particular Pizza Hut. I've been to other Pizza Huts since then. I have nothing against Pizza Hut. I've always liked Pizza Hut, but that particular store, I've heard of numerous problems with, and that was just
How
the
does
worst.
someone manage to lose a tooth
And put it
in
in
the
the pizza.
food?
Are we talking full size grown human tooth?
yeah. It was like one of these little guys,
Oh wow.
like the
One of
little
your-
fangy looking things.
Your
canines?
Yeah,
Yeah,
your
whatever you
canines.
call
Yeah, them
Yeah.
words.
It was a tooth. I've heard there are multiple theories, of course, by now.
Yeah.
Dead body.
Because we've told this story to so many people. And we've just sat and talked about it for a long time. Because how don't you?
I would just. We should just do a podcast of obscene theories
We should.
about this.
Theory
Yeah, let's
cast.
make that a segment.
Yeah.
Just the Pizza Hut tooth theories segment of creation theory. But someone suggested to me maybe it was like a kid who lost a tooth and just like flicked it in a pizza or something because he was mad at his parents. Someone suggested maybe an employee had just gotten fired and came in and snuck a tooth in a pizza or something.
That's actually a good theory. I like that.
But regardless, even if it wasn't Pizza Hut's fault at all that a tooth was there,
They should not have asked you to pay anything.
they shouldn't have asked us to pay anything, and they shouldn't have been crappy with us
They
when we
should-
went up to the counter.
They should have apologized a
Absolutely.
lot.
Yeah.
And been thankful that you weren't trying to sue them.
Exactly.
Correct.
Patrick and I, sitting at the table before we actually got up and left, we were talking like we were genuinely discussing like getting up and presenting in front of the whole restaurant that we just found a tooth in the pizza and they tried to give us 50% off. Like
You
we wanted to
should've.
make a huge scene, but we didn't do that. But I do just frequently go around saying that people shouldn't go to that particular store because obvious reasons.
Because it's awful.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's the Pizza Hut story of this summer. Pretty gross.
You want to hear a gross work story from me?
I would love to hear that.
Because I worked at, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and put it on the line. No? No? No?
Nah.
I worked at Hardee's, I'll just say that.
Dadgummit.
All right, it was a Hardee's somewhere in America.
So, West Virginia,
Somewhere in West Virginia.
southern West Virginia.
Stop.
Logan, quit.
But, so I worked at this Hardee's the majority of the summer. Like, because I lost my other job, so they hired me on there. And I worked usually 6 to 2 or 3. 6 a.m. to 2 or 3, not 6 p.m. to 2 or 3 a.m. But, so, one day, we had a man come into work, and he straight up said, well, he ordered chicken tenders. He ordered 10-piece chicken tender. Got his chicken tenders, was sitting there eating his chicken tenders.
Okay.
Came up to the counter, and it's fast food, so you pay before you get your food. And we refunded him. I was working in the back, but apparently there was a fly, like a huge fly. Like a fly big enough that he took a bite out of this chicken tender, looked down, there is still a sizable amount of fly deep fried on this chicken tender.
Oh, that's disgusting.
And
Are we talking on or in? Like under the breading or on top of the breading?
under the breading.
Ugh.
Like it was like whoever
that's
breaded
bad.
his tenders, there apparently was a dead fly in the breading. It had stuck to the tender, and then they deep fried it.
That is nasty.
That's awful.
That is bad.
And he came up and he was screaming,
Oh, I
"Do
bet.
you see this?" And he's a super old man. And he was saying stuff like, "I'm taking this to the media. I'm going to own every one of these restaurants by the end of the year.
Wow.
You all have no chance against me. Look at this. This is disgusting." And just, it was super gross. On and on. Like, I didn't cook any of the food. I either worked register or I worked in the back cleaning or, like, prepping things. I never actually cooked.
Yeah.
But, there were some people that worked there that I know did not wear gloves when preparing food.
Okay.
They must have had flies on their fingers.
No, we had flies
Damn
in the
fly fingers.
store. Like, always. The store was disgusting. There was ants and flies.
Ants are bad.
Ants are
And
not a good thing.
No.
this person who never wore gloves also coughed in the food a lot.
Oh.
And the only people who could see it were the people, like, behind the counter. Because there's this thing blocking you from seeing everything else. I never ate a single meal there.
That's good. Yeah.
Not because it just grossed me out knowing who worked there.
I like Hardee's though, and I'm glad you did qualify it with. It was a store in southern West Virginia because that might actually work as an excuse.
That is
in Hardee's
just
favor.
West Virginia.
It is that. Yeah, that's expected behavior.
So
Like, it's...
You
Hardee's
can't
is cool.
hire anything better in southern West Virginia.
Yep.
Well,
Unless
hey.
your cousin's working, then why try to be impressive?
I'll be completely honest. Lots of...
You're welcome for that there.
I'll be completely honest. Lots of stores, especially in my hometown, have a super big issue, like restaurants especially, have a super big issue with hiring people because everyone is on drugs. Everyone. No one can take a drug test. There's actually, like, do you all know what Cheddar's is?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah.
One of
Okay.
them workarounds.
There's a Cheddar's in my hometown, and they have to drug test in order to hire. It got it got to a point where they hire you, and they legitimately say, I've had multiple people confirm this, that we drug test you in 30 days. Be clean by then.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because they can't
Straight-
find people. who are
Because
clean
they
off the street.
can't hire anyone who doesn't do drugs.
That's sad.
It's disgusting. And they only drug test once. It's not like it's every 6 months. So you just have to be clean for that first drug test, and then let's go do whatever, you know. And there's a lot of that, sadly.
It is sad. Right
Yep.
for West Virginia.
Yep.
Oh yeah, you should, especially after all those floods and everything.
For sure.
Yeah, 20. I think the final death toll was 26 people.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
it was awful.
In a place you don't typically think about flooding.
Well,
It makes sense because it's rivers and valleys.
Right.
But you don't typically think about a mountain town being a
And
flood problem.
the problem was it wasn't even like the actual flooding. If it had just been flooding, that it wouldn't have been good, but it would have been okay. The problem was because there was so many mountains and things that it was like rushing water and it was like sweeping houses away.
Wow.
Like, I know people that, like, in parts of these cities, if you went there, their houses would have been gone, like, swept away, because the water was so fast.
Wow.
There was a police officer who was radar checking some of the debris going, like, swept away by currents. He said a milk jug was going 80-something miles per hour.
Milk
That's a
jug?
terrifying milk jug.
Wow.
You know what I pulled you over for?
You was speeding down the backyard.
So, yeah, stuff's just crazy.
Yeah, prayers for West Virginia and Louisiana.
Definitely
For sure.
Yeah,
right now.
yeah.
You
They need
guys,
it.
you guys have any other crazy work stories?
I don't from this summer, but I do from just past experiences in general.
Do you?
That's what we're doing.
Oh, I have a KFC story.
Ooh.
Why not? Since we are
fried
defaming every
You know
fast
what?
food
Let's just
restaurant.
take out the entire Yum Corporation while we're at it.
Yeah. Do you have anybody bad against Taco Bell?
There's nothing you can say bad about Taco Bell.
There's everything you can say bad about Taco Bell, and it can all be heard in the bathroom. But anything
That's
else?
fair. That's fair.
Well, there was a guy that worked. I know for a fact that the KFC I worked for, a gentleman got fired because he was mad at people and he. How do I phrase this?
Maybe you shouldn't.
Just say it. We can always cut it.
Okay, so
Okay.
my KFC story is that there was a time when these two people that worked there. So my Wendy's story.
What? You have another one?
No, you're joking.
Okay, go ahead.
Wait, first, I want the audience to know.
What we just had to do. Oh, it's so funny.
We cut what was going to be two awful
Not
stories.
once, but twice.
Hang on.
Oh, wait, are
Keep
we
going.
still?
Keep
We're
going.
still
I'll
recording.
just do it. Keep going.
Why are we even filming?
The battery just died.
So we're not
That's
filming.
all right.
Yeah.
Well,
So the video's done.
We'll just take it to black. Video's done. Sorry, folks.
but
Was the video
anyway,
even on before?
We got about 24 minutes of it.
Logan,
Maybe.
Logan just started two different and exclusive stories about his work experience that we just cannot consciously.
We cannot air it.
No.
I can't talk either.
Cannot in good
In
faith.
good conscience air on
No.
our podcast.
They were obscene, containing things that should not be spoken of.
All right.
Immediate
So
cut.
my,
However, they were quite hilarious.
Yeah, that's why we're laughing.
We just can't share.
I'm laughing because Logan, we stopped him the first time. We're like, stop doing this. Let's cut it. And then he starts again, and it gets worse.
So we start again, and he has another one. Can you share this one with us?
yeah.
Okay, go for it.
So when I was working at Wendy's, I had a person. Did I tell you all this story before?
I don't know.
I
You haven't
had
started yet.
We can't.
I was on the drive-thru, and I had an elderly woman come through the drive-thru, and what she asked for was as followed. She asked for a junior bacon cheeseburger, a small fry, and an extra small fry. And I said, okay, gave her total. She pulled around. Let me state, for starters, This woman was old as time itself. She was
Savage looking.
at least 600.
Was she driving a Volvo?
No.
That would be
But
Was her
she-
vehicle beige?
It was beige.
There we
Yep.
go.
It was very beige. And
Probably a Buick.
I handed her her food, and she looked at me and she said, I wanted a small Sprite. She didn't say fries, she said small Sprite. Sometimes it sounds like fries over the headset.
Understand.
So I said, okay, ma'am, turned around, got her her drink, handed it to her. This lady proceeded to take a sip of her drink and then throw it at me,
Oh my god.
What?
flip me the finger, and drive away.
Oh my god.
What?
And this was someone's great grandmother, at least.
Do people that evil have children?
I will remember this woman until the day I die.
Can I get real for a moment?
Yeah.
I saw a post the other week that someone shared saying, you know, our generation, millennials, get tons of crap for being, you know, whatever, rude, disrespectful, all this. And it said in the post that the person had been working in fast food for 5 years or so. And they said it was always older generations of people that were just super mean to them, did stuff like that. And they said it was always the teenagers and kids that would be, if something got messed up or if they were busy or slow, they'd be like, it's all right, you know, smile and say it's okay.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
We
Always.
get it.
I've
do.
never had
We're
a
fresh off
problem
those
with
jobs.
any.
Those jobs didn't exist.
Yeah.
I've never had a problem with any teenager or kid come through. I've never even had a problem with someone, probably I'd say even in their 30s, but starting 40s and above, it just goes downhill.
I've been yelled at through drive-through window plenty of times by people much older than me.
Oh, yeah.
And for no good reasons, like nothing that I was responsible for. You know, you're just working in a restaurant. Like,
Exactly. And the whole thing is, like, I at my Wendy's, the drink thing, yeah, that was my problem. There's plenty of times I got yelled at for handing food out wrong when literally all I did was get handed a bag
Right.
that was full of the food, handed it to them. They look in it and then proceed to scream at my face when I
Well,
never
it's an
even
easy face
touched
to
their
scream at.
food.
Wow.
Yeah, I have nothing against older generations, but we do get tons of just criticism for being rude or disrespectful or whatever people try to say about millennials, and in so many people's experience, that's just not the truth.
No.
Especially in food
Now, that
service.
being said, you have to understand when you're working these jobs, those people just had a bad day. So,
Yeah.
it happens.
But not always.
Not
I don't know,
always.
it's like there was
Sometimes
a lady
they're
at the
just a
thrift
jerk.
store who was a serial shoplifter.
Wow.
She was
Whoa.
probably like 73,
You sell cereal at the
74.
thrift store?
Yes, we do. We did sell baby formula, fun fact. Don't know that you'd want to buy that for your child, but yeah, she would come in. Yeah, she would come in, and it was kind of like that episode of the Andy Griffith Show where the old lady is stealing from Weavers, and Andy says, "When I bumped into her, she clanked." And little old ladies ought never to clank. It was kind of like that because she would take handbags or sometimes school supplies or like small figurines and just hide them in her coat and in her purse.
Wow.
Let me ask.
And like we have video cameras, so we see all this. Go ahead,
Right.
Logan.
Is she doing it just to do it? You think?
I don't know.
Because there's people that come in. My grandparents own a store themselves. Like they actually, there are people that come in and shoplift. Not even things that they need. We know that there are people that are well off. They are just addicted to that. Like,
Yeah.
oh, I might get caught type of feeling.
Yep.
And it's crazy. They're
It is
crazy.
strange.
They
My dad used to work with a guy he was a super nice guy, super cool. I liked him, but he had a similar problem And a cool thing he did was if he was with you and you were driving and stopped at a gas station, he would always get out and get the squeegee or whatever and wipe the windows and stuff off, which is really cool, especially doing it for my dad, who was his boss. But my dad said one time the workers went to a gas station and he did the whole squeegee thing, this guy, but then they went back to the job site and someone looked in the trunk and the squeegee was in the trunk. He just stuck it in there. Like, he was just one of these guys who just steals stuff. I don't know. And it's a problem. That's why in the dorms they tell us always lock your door, even if you trust people or whatever, because people are tempted just to take stuff, even if they don't need it.
Josh and I will be locking our door for the rest of forever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We don't want our
wanna lock my
squeegees
door
being
now.
stolen. So,
We have so many squeegees.
yes.
Alrighty then.
Do it that way. You want, people.
My dad, my actual father, who, you know, yeah,
We don't need to go
We
there.
don't need to. go
my
there.
actual
Don't make us
father,
play again.
for whatever reason, anytime he goes out to eat anywhere, he will take the plates, the forks, the knives, the salt shaker, pepper shaker, any bottles of ketchup or other condiments that were out. He will leave the metal stands and the packets. That is it. And he will not leave a tip, regardless of service.
Oh my gosh.
Wow. Does he come in with a backpack or does he smuggle it all on his person?
My stepmom carries very large purses. Like shopping bag size purses.
What does he do with such items?
He doesn't, honestly, he just takes it home.
Like he just has a closet full of it somewhere?
No, like, I mean, it's just there. They don't go out to eat very often, so.
Okay.
It's like they're condiment shopping. They just
Yeah.
go to a restaurant. That's sad.
It is sad.
That is.
Well, I worked at a movie theater this summer, like I said earlier, and people are nuts.
Yes.
People are absolutely
are.
crazy.
Yes.
Like, it was insane. Also, it's funny to me that we're a discounted theater. The place I worked was a discounted theater,
Okay.
and I enjoyed that, and I worked with some great people. But the people who came in were they were some weird people. Our tickets were $4 before 4 o'clock, and
Wow.
were $6 after 4 o'clock, even
Wow.
on the weekends.
Dang.
All the
good.
time.
Nice.
On Tuesdays, if you were like a rewards member, you got tickets for $4 no matter what.
Wow.
Like,
That's great.
period. So, it wasn't bad. Concessions, however.
Oh,
Where we get
jeez.
Mhm.
That's where they always get
But
you.
what's funny is people would come up to me at the concession stand and order food. I'll have a large popcorn and a large drink, and I'd say, be $12.85.
Oh,
It was actually
Wow.
higher than that. It was 13 something.
Whoa.
no
Wow.
way.
That's high.
Unless you had the rewards card, bumped it down. But they would say, "Well, I can't believe you're gonna charge me $13 for a soda and some popcorn. I can't believe you're gonna do this. I just can't believe." And they would hand me their credit card, continue to write. I just can't believe I'm paying $13 for. And then I would hand it back and go, "Enjoy your show." And they go, "Thanks. I just can't believe I paid $13." Like,
Then don't pay it.
should've
You
been
don't have to buy
I
this.
can't believe you're paying it either.
And
But
you
you're doing
know
it.
what? They probably came back a lot too,
they
didn't
did. All of them had rewards cards because all of them were there all the time. And every time they're like, "I can't believe I'm paying $13 for soda and popcorn."
I can't believe
Yeah, you
we're
can,
doing
'cause you're
this
doing it
I
every
can't
day.
believe you're doing it either.
Every day. Every day you're doing this.
That's insane.
Wow.
And also, people don't understand how movie theaters work. So, just so y'all are aware, we schedule movies, at least the company that I worked for, scheduled movies all to start within like an hour of each other. And then it's super dead after that. And then all of the movies get out and we start over again. Look online before you go to movie theaters or in the newspaper if that's still a thing. It's not where I was, but some places probably still do that. don't just show up to the theater and say, "Are you showing Ninja Turtles right now?" And when we answer, "No," don't say, "Well, why not?" Because it's scheduled for a reason.
Like, yeah, let's fire up the projector for you.
We've got
Get
no
some Ninja
theater in
Turtles
the
on.
back.
It makes it difficult to, like, have people show up and pay to see a movie when they don't know when it's happening.
Right.
People know when it's happening. You're the only one that doesn't. Don't be that person.
Do people not just get the thought of, I'd like to see this movie today, and then figure out when it is?
That's what I do.
That's
I've
what I...
always
People
done.
That's
get
what
that
everyone
thought.
I
They
know
come in
does.
and go, "When's it playing?" 7:30. What time is it? 6 o'clock. Is there not one now? Nope, it's at 7:30. But it's 6 o'clock. I am aware of that, but it starts at 7:30. Well, why can't you show one now? I want to see it now. I don't have time at 7:30. Well, because it's at 7:30.
We can't just make this fit around your schedule.
We don't just hit play and it goes. Like, we have to...
Yeah.
It's automated.
Should be like, well, if you want to clean the theaters and man the box office.
You want to go in
You
there
know
and kick
what?
everybody out. Be my guest.
That's why I just can't wait for the robot overlords to take over. And we all
Oh
have
my
chips
gosh.
that play movies in our brains whenever we want.
Oh, Logan.
Well, alrighty then. So yeah, don't be that guy at the movie theater, and please carry your trash to a trash can.
Please.
It's just
Oh.
rude.
It's disgusting.
You know what? I've gone to movies with people, and they just leave their, like, they've stood up to just leave their, and don't do that.
No.
That's ridiculous.
Understand that it's somebody's job to sweep that theater, not to pick up your trash.
Also, where is it acceptable anywhere, including your mama's house, to just leave your trash all over the floor?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe not all over the floor, but you go out to eat and you don't have to clean up after yourself.
That's true,
But
but you
that's
are
not
also
how it works in the
directly
movie
tipping
theater.
someone
That's
to
fair.
pick up after your butt.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Ushers in movie theaters get paid minimum wage like the rest of us.
That's
Yeah.
fair.
And I've been in theaters with 50 people that were nearly spotless. And, like, we get a little popcorn spill, like, it happens because we overfill the bags and they fall over because they're flimsy. We get it, soda drips, like,
Yeah.
we understand that. But I've been in theaters where there were 4 people and one of them was a kid and they just let the kid run around and throw popcorn.
that's
And
that's
it was
awful.
disgusting.
I know some people who buy and dump popcorn in the theater just for the fun of it. I've seen it done.
Are you serious?
No
Seen
way.
it done.
That's
It's a
not
real
a thing.
People do this.
It's ridiculous.
I can vouch for that.
I don't know where people get that sort of attitude, but it happens.
Or that sort of money.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That
seriously.
is
Like-
a $9
Yeah,
popcorn.
$9. I can't believe I'm paying $9 for popcorn.
Just to dump
Dump,
it out.
yeah.
That was fun. I'll do it again tomorrow.
What a rush.
What a rush.
Okay.
I should just stay here and watch the kid clean up after me. That's even better.
Also, if anybody is listening to this and any of you happen to be successful and happen to work for Hollywood, stop putting post-credit scenes and things that aren't Marvel. Like, it's their thing, but I don't want to see Dory's post-credit scene. And
There
it
was
makes
a
it super...
post-credit scene
Yeah,
in Dory.
there was a
And it was
post-credit scene in
bad.
Dory, and it wasn't even good.
It was stupid. It was pointless. I don't remember what it was, but I remember feeling gypped.
There were 2 seals sitting on a rock, and there was another seal that clearly had issues trying to sit on the rock, and they yelled at him. And then the fish from the first movie in the bags swim up and go, "We made it!" And a thing picks him up and goes, "No respect for ocean life."
Mm-hmm.
The end. Oh, and the third seal that he finally gets on the rock and laughs a bit.
Yeah.
The end.
Basically, it's making fun of
Fat people.
handy-capable people with problems.
1 in 400 people who saw this movie knew that existed. The rest of the time I was sitting in there listening to this repeatedly, cleaning theaters. The times when people knew that it existed, they sat there and waited until the end of the credits for like 8 minutes. And I had to just awkwardly stand there because I can't start cleaning the theater until you leave. Now, nothing against people that were doing that. I did the same thing. When I saw it, I did the same thing because I wanted to see the full movie and I was with people that hadn't seen it yet. So, I understand that. But don't put them in there. Like,
Yeah.
I don't want to wait for people to get up and walk out for 3-second scene that is pointless. It wasn't even hinting to anything. Like, Marvel does it well.
Right.
They do. It sets up the
It's
next
for a
film.
reason.
It sets up the next film, yes. Not
like-
a purpose for this one at all.
It's like free advertising for their next film that they
It's-
can just
it's like-
put in their current
Yeah.
film.
Not even free. People paid them to see it.
Yeah.
Yes.
Some people legitimately only go for the end credit scene just to see what's next.
That's stupid. You're not one of them, are you?
No.
Okay, good.
I don't. Was that movie any good even?
Dory?
It was good.
Yeah,
It was
I
good.
never saw
That
it.
I enjoyed
was
it.
just okay. I give it a C.
I've heard decent things about it. I haven't heard horrible things about it. But I haven't heard, like, it's incredible or anything. I'll see it someday.
Eh,
Yeah. If you miss it,
if I
it's
have
okay.
time. Yeah.
All right. It was a good movie, though. I did see a few movies this year. This
That's
summer.
good.
It's good.
Is that an upside of working in the movie theater? Do you get to see pretty much anything you
See,
want?
the problem was when you work at a place, you don't want to go back to that place,
Right.
even if it's free. Also, I lived I lived in the next state, technically, like 15 minutes away, but it was in the next state. And I'd be sitting at home going, I don't want to get up and drive. I don't want to waste the gas. I got to go in tomorrow. Not worth it. But when I did see movies, I saw movies. Get me a large combo and just sit down all day and watch movies. Get out of one theater, go to the next theater, middle of the previews, and watch the movie.
That's awesome.
Are you allowed to do that?
If you get free movies, you are.
Oh, you
Nice.
got free movies.
Yeah, I got free movies because I worked there.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah,
So you do it upright.
yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Don't do that, though. Don't be that gay.
Bryce, you
No.
are not allowed to do that.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Bryce, don't be that guy.
Unless you work at a movie theater and you get free movies.
Yeah.
Then you can.
There you go.
But don't let Ben go on your free movie bend.
No. Let's talk about theater hopping actually for a second because
Okay.
it's something that a lot of my friends used to be really into in high school. And I used to yell at them so much because it's a
Yeah.
terrible thing.
Yeah.
I think technically it's piracy or something because yes, you're
It is
watching it
theft.
legitimately, but it is the same depriving of revenue that you get from watching it illegally online. What are your,
It's
what are
just
your guys' thoughts?
unethical.
It is. It's
I mean-
stealing.
We had a manager. Hold on.
Plain and simple.
Actually, we had a few managers that did this. But when we got new freestyle machines, Coca-Cola Freestyles.
Oh,
Oh,
was
cool.
the ones where you
The
have
ones
all
with the
the
touchscreen.
options?
Also, older generations cannot get their own sodas anymore. It is amazing. How you get the ice out of this thing? Push back. It says ice, push on that. And then they would go to the slushy machines because it says Coke on it. And they would try. This soda doesn't look right. I'm aware. And then I have to walk out there and, oh, it's a newfangled tech. No, I can't even get my own. Oh, that looks good. And then they'd like pick orange Coke or something and go about their day. Also, there's one button on one of those machines.
That breaks the entire machine?
No, there's one button.
Just the
There's
push
the
button.
touch screen, and then there's the button.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
And you have no idea how many times I would stand behind the counter, because they were in front of the counter, the machines were, and somebody would come over and go, I don't know how to, I picked it, how do I get it out of there? Push the button. And they'd walk back over, and they'd go, what button? And I'd go, the flashing button.
The big, like,
The
silver.
big circle flashing button right above your cup.
eye level.
I don't see it. The button, there's one button.
Right above
This
the
button, and they'd
nozzle.
hit the handicap button, and then the whole
my
screen would
gosh.
change, and they'd go, all right, that's now one the button.
Oh,
No, that wasn't the button. There's one button.
Oh, goodness.
Like, the handicap button isn't even a button. It's like a light that is sensitive. So when you touch it, it senses that you touched it.
Right.
But it's not an actual physical button. So I had to walk around and be like, this button. Oh, that button.
The only
The
button.
only
the
button.
button. But anyway, we had managers that when people would buy a soda cup and go over to the slushy machines, they would go up to them and say, sir, I'm going to have to take that cup from you and rinse it out, because if you go any further, that is theft, and I will have to call the police.
Really?
I don't think that they ever actually did it, but they said that they would.
Wow.
Wow.
They said before that they might have to do that if people keep... And then they realized that people are going to do it anyway. But, yeah, that happened.
Wow.
Well,
But technically, that is theft. If you don't pay for a slushie, and it costs more, and you fill a soda cup with a slushie,
right.
then you thieved 30 cents. Which is theft. Don't do that.
It is.
Don't be that guy.
also, we now know how not to get on Wyatt's bad side. Never mess up with the new Coke machines.
Exactly.
No, never.
Just
It's just funny.
Yeah.
you've heard how to do it. Please never mess up, because Wyatt will get.
And
so
if Wyatt sees you messing up, he will probably body slam.
No,
you.
I'll be super nice about it.
But
I work
you're-
in customer service, basically. But seriously, if you're looking at a machine and somebody says, push the button,
the single button.
the flashing button,
I
It
think
isn't
even
hard.
says push on the button.
It does
doesn't
say
It
push.
does.
It
It
does say- I believe
says
it does say
push.
push.
Yes,
Yes.
it does.
yes.
100% verified on the Creation Day podcast. New
Actually,
Coke machines say push on
I
the
feel
button.
like it just has a Coke bottle. logo
No,
on
it says push
No, it
on
says
the
push.
silver button. Yeah.
Does
I'm
it?
not
It
sure
does say
now.
push.
It's like
Logan
a
is
white. There's
introduced
a
now.
white light,
There's a white light around it.
and then there's a silver button, and
Yes.
with on this button it says PUSH for push.
And those letters are in that particular order.
Yes, and they are carved into it specifically.
Well,
Wow.
either way, if someone says push the flashing button, push the flashing button. Like,
Yep.
yeah.
Also, fun fact about those machines. This is going to get a lot of people in trouble. But
Uh-oh.
if you want to go in and reprogram them,
Uh-oh.
the way you do this, I have a friend who works in fast food.
Is
I
this
can tell you
is
this, but I will
going to
not.
be illegal?
I will
No,
not tell you
There
No,
is
this.
a
it's
way
not
to do
illegal.
this, to get into it. The way you do it is you go to water, and there are going to be 3 or 4 little bubbles that are going up on the screen.
False.
You pop those bubbles. It is at the ones at Five Guys. The ones at Five Guys.
No,
that
it's
is
not how
it
you work the
was
ones up in the
as
up in the
of
movie
like
theaters.
a year ago.
But yeah,
This is
don't
how
do
it
that.
works. Yeah, go
Don't
to
be
the
that
water,
guy.
pop the bubbles, and it brings up like the tap calibration or something.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you like rearrange it to where certain buttons let out certain like
oh,
different
I have no
things?
idea.
Oh, we gotta go Five Guys.
Yep.
Let's
we
go
gotta
Five
we gotta
Guys.
test
So
this
we go
out.
Five Guys, guys.
Okay.
Okay.
But there's only 4 of us.
We can
There
find it,
was
dude.
5.
Aw.
Aw. We all just looked at the camera, which is no longer recording. just so y'all know.
Yeah. We have trouble here on the Passion Theory podcast.
We do.
This is the second time we thought we would have video.
Guess what
But
we
it
don't
is.
have?
We thought our inaugural episode would have video along with it.
Episode numero uno.
What are
would
we
have
on?
video.
Now we're on season 2, episode 1, and still no video.
Still thinking we do, but we don't.
What episode is this?
I
Like
have
actual
no idea.
9?
episode. No,
It's
it's, more
episode
than that.
1 because we're on episode 2.
Season 2,
Season-
not
season two.
episode
Wait a minute.
2.
Season 2. I
Johnson
think
Matt.
it's actually like number 13 or 14.
That's what I was thinking, like 13 or 14.
between 12 and 14.
Anywho.
Yeah.
But speaking of theater hopping, well, what do you call when you say theater hopping?
Okay.
My friends and I, what we used to do is,
Here we go.
and I wouldn't
This'll be good.
say it's illegal, but we would purchase tickets to my movie theater back home. 2 sides you could go in for separate showings or whatever, you know. And you would, if you wanted to see a rated R movie, obviously you had to be 18 or older, right? Well, 17, I think.
Right.
I think it's 17.
17.
And you know, we were little delinquents, so we wanted to see rated R movies, but we couldn't get in. So what we would do is we would just go look at what side the rated R movie we were playing in was, and then we'd go buy a ticket for like Monsters University around the same time on the same side, and we'd just walk down to the rated R movie. Now they have people standing at the door checking you before you go in, but they didn't used to.
Don't do that, kids.
I think it's still bad.
Yeah.
I
don't do
mean,
that.
that's not illegal, though.
Now,
It is cheating
It
the
is.
system. I don't know if it's illegal.
I mean,
but-
they're not losing any money.
we had people doing that, like, all the time, and we knew it. And normally they wouldn't do anything about it, but every once in a while they'll go in and embarrass you. Like, the middle of the show, they'll walk in and go, "You're not 17, come with me."
Yeah.
As loud as they can,
That'll
just
do
to
it.
embarrass you.
Well, the thing is, the theater may not lose any money, but you're paying for, say you paid for Monsters, Inc. in exchange to actually go see The Conjuring 2 or something, even though those two movies came out at different times.
And The Conjuring 2, I think, is PG-13.
The Monsters, Inc. is going to get your money for the tickets, but like we said earlier, going to see a different movie that you didn't pay for.
Yeah, I guess
still
that's
not
fair.
ethical,
They're not
'cause they're not
actually
getting your money.
getting
It's
the
different
revenue.
studios.
Yeah.
That's
It's
fair.
different studios.
Which
Also,
raises an interesting question of do horror movies that release the same time as kids movies make kids movie ticket sales go higher than kids
They
movies
do.
not released during horror
R-rated
movie
movies
times?
do not do well ever.
Yeah.
Because the people who want to see most R-rated movies
Or
are not old enough.
teenagers,
And
yeah.
they will come in and go, I want a ticket for Tarzan, and then go watch Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates or whatever.
Yeah.
But don't do it.
Don't do that.
Yeah, it's bad.
But one of my favorite things when working at the movie theater was when kids would come in and go, like, we need 2 tickets to Mike and Dave Need Wedding Dates. And I'd say, I need to see IDs. And one of them would show me an ID. And I'd say, no, I need IDs from everybody. And they would go, but mine's in the car. I don't
Oh.
care. And then they wouldn't come back.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll be right back. And they won't come back.
Nope.
Well,
They're-
my question was, as long as they're with someone 18 or older, it's
Incorrect.
fine.
You have to be 21
21?
to buy the ticket for somebody else.
Oh, my theater, I bought tickets for people underage when I was 18.
At least in Indiana,
Okay.
that is the rule. But
That's
people would
interesting.
come in all the time and be like, I want to see this movie. Well, you got to have somebody 21. And then they'd leave, and then they'd come back for the later showing and be like, okay, can I see this movie now? Do you have somebody 21? I have somebody who's 19.
No.
That is not 21.
That is not 21. That
We
is
go to
not how that
Johnson,
works.
We know that's not 21.
We do math here.
Well,
Wow.
I mean,
That was a robust conversation on movie
That was-
theaters
It was completely unplanned.
and the ethics of movie theaters.
Yeah.
we could,
Don't be the guy that buys a ticket and then stays all day. If you're going to do that,
Yeah.
buy all the tickets. Like, it's not that much more if you're going to go see a movie anyway to just buy the tickets for the movies you want to see and stay. Like, then nobody's going to say anything. And most likely nobody would say anything to you anyway, but don't do it cuz those people working there get paid minimum wage, and a lot of movie theaters are cutting back on staff because they can't afford to stay open. Don't know how with concession sales, but yeah. So don't be that guy.
well, guys, it's been a glorious conversation. I fell short. I probably should have prepared missions moment, but
Well, what camp did you work at?
I worked at Christian Acres Service Camp. It's a non-profit camp. I mean, it's a really good camp. It's not a very big camp. It's mostly area churches, and we try to do about, I think they do about 7 weeks of camp, and it's awesome. They have a camp even for high school seniors and freshman college students. They have a week for them too.
How many campers do you have a week?
It depends, it varies, but the older weeks, like from like the 5th and 6th grade week up into the 9th and 10th grade week, we usually average 100 plus campers during the week, which is good because it's not a very big camp. But Spiritual Emphasis, which is the high school seniors / college freshman week, we usually only average about 50 or 60.
So I wouldn't say this is a small mission because that's approximately 700 young lives that are being impacted.
Well, yeah,
That is
I
true.
mean that's fair.
Every
That's
year.
fair.
Yeah.
And actually, I guess more than that because we have 2 other grades below that. They're about 60 campers apiece.
There you go.
All right.
800.
So
Yeah.
What was that
it's-
again, and where is it?
It's Christian Acres Service Camp. It's in Bluewell, West Virginia.
Blue well?
Bluewell,
Blue whale.
Bluewell,
Blue.
Bluewell.
Blee wheel.
Bluwell. Bluewell.
Okay.
Bluewell, West Virginia.
All right.
Sounds like what people call me. That's what I was doing.
Okay.
Are you Wool? Or no, I'm Wee Will. Are you Wee Will?
We will.
One of my professors today said, I have corrected this professor before on my name. It's only the second day of class this happens. But this professor called my name. Wyatt, we will? I said, we will. Okay, we will. Emphasis on the will.
Oh my
It's like,
god.
No. Whatever.
There's an
We
E.
will.
It is spelled with an E,
It's okay.
but it happens
It does.
But
frequently.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Logan,
yeah,
if I am a student, how do I go to this camp? Or if I am an adult, how do I donate to this mission?
they have a just go to Google and type in Christian Acres Service Camp, West Virginia.
Okay.
I mean, it's going to be there. I don't know the website and address off the top of my head.
This
Fair.
is
You know what, we're gonna
an
find out.
improvisation. So
And
it's all good.
the whole thing is, it's a spectacular camp. Just so you know, it's actually, they only charge, I think, $75
Wow.
for
a
a week
week.
of camp.
for a week of camp. And if you actually, I don't know whoever is going to listen to this, but if you're in West Virginia or if you're from somewhere else, and your church might pay part of it, and it's even
Right.
cheaper.
Wow.
Because my church did. So for me, when I was a kid, it was always $35.
That's pretty good.
It is christianacres.camp.
Who would have guessed?
Not
None
me.
of us.
I did not know .camp was a thing.
So, that's our missions moment. Don't forget to pray for West Virginia and Louisiana.
For sure.
And for Italy as well.
Yes.
Italy. What happened in Italy?
There was
I
a
heard
major
something.
5.6 magnitude.
6.2.
6.2 magnitude.
I believe last I
Ooh.
checked earlier this evening, the death toll was 267.
Oh, wow.
So
That's a lot.
it's a lot of people. Even if that number is not correct, it's still a lot of people.
It's
Wow.
yeah, it's a lot of destruction and a lot of hurt. So
Yeah.
pray for Italy as well.
Other than that, that's pretty much what we've got for today. We've got more Trophy Pop coming, more episodes of Mainline Creation Theory coming, so stay tuned for that.
All right, guys. Thank you for letting us wipe the rust off our wheels and get back into it. So, this is the Creation Theory Podcast. We're out.
Woo!